has closed. We're going to be taking a quick look at some of the trading action today and get a feeling for where we might be heading this week, and take a look at the disclaimer, risk disclosures, hypothetical performance. Nothing that I show you today can be guaranteed to be replicated tomorrow. As you know, anything can happen, and this volatility can shift on a dime. So the volatility, the GEX tomorrow, you can see today we were clustered here at 69.75, 69.80. That is, we'll show you on the chart just a minute where that is heading. And then it's really kind of unsure at the moment going forward. High GEX at 7,000 and 70.25, but the large block hasn't really formed yet. So there's nobody holding positions overnight in this market. That'll get filled in tomorrow. So today we made it up to the green line, which is our jive Globex 3. Just under the daily 3. And that's on the close, and the daily 3 on the open is just below it. So between 69.73 and looks like 69.90, 69.92. Also, we got up to the weekly one on the close and came back in, and this monthly one at 69.93.26 caught the high, and then this upper one just shifted down. So this 7,004, we just had a volatility shift bringing that down. So keep an eye out for an overnight pullback in the ES. Oops. Hang on one second. I see what I did. I usually have a separate chart for the ES underneath it. So here, I just changed the chart. All right, so here's the futures. And you can see that we got to our 70.15 level, identified in our report as the weekly resistance. Let me refresh this. There we go. And here we got the weekly resistance. And my 70.15 was, we're able to do our calculations with jive friction on the week and the month that I'm not getting on the indicator. The indicator is showing us daily, but I can do the analytics on some other time frames. So 70.17 was actually the daily 2 Arvo or close. Let's see the close. And then our daily 3 R-ball, 1 period. Oh, nope, that was the open. Okay. So we had the open and close was very wide today. Daily 3 close and daily 2 open. And that weekly level, like I said, 70-20 is sitting right there. So we've got weekly, monthly ranges pressing down on us. 70-67, 70-94 at the upper end, 71-37 at the very top. But so far there wasn't anything in the SPX to show GEX going forward this week. I think the traders were caught off guard by the long vol long today. And how do I know it was long vol long? Right here. You can see that this is VIX. This is ES. You see that R vol is over the H vol. This is SPX and this is NQ. And every time usually the R vol breaks out of the H vol, we get a sell-off. But here we are, and it can also be the top. So it's a topping pattern, exhaustion, expansion, especially when you're not seeing any GEX confirming it. So instead of selling off, we're capturing those highs. I'm bracing for a bottom. I'm bracing for a bottom in the VIX. I'm looking at the VIX saying bracing for a bottom, but a short-term top in the equity index. So be prepared for that close coming a day late and a dollar short. For some traders who are very angry about going long vol long today, it does wreck their algos. I get that. I'm not totally daft. All right. You just think I am. I'm not. All right. You have to watch out for us crazy people. All right. So you can see here, we're at the weekly one also. If it does keep pressing down, we have a 28-day month. So let's go ahead and change our month to be precise to 28 instead of 29. And you can see here that we have caught the very bottom of that 28-day one at 15.99. So if it continues to move lower, it's going to be wanting to, find the mean and get all these stops. Right? So the mean would be between 11.23 and 15.99. just to give you an idea for your spreads where that would be. I have a hard time getting on to it. Hang on. All right, 1356 for your bingo card. And we can go back into our quick options and look to see if there is anything on 1350 in our near future. And there's not. Look, it's desert. 15, 15.5, 16, 16.5 is the only thing that they can see. They're short-sighted. See, if they all had JATS. I guess it's cheap though, right? All right. So that is, in the middle of at the end of the most volatile months, usually February, if you're so brave. But that would be that. And what is this? Is this the one period? Yeah, 28-day one period. Little trick there, right? Arval. Now the HVol is right here. And you can see it shows a much different story. Actually, it's the same. All right, never mind. All right, so 1350 for end of the month mean for the VIX. 2026, 26.95 for those upper threes. 23.16 for the 2. And to break out, you would need to get over this 1839 where it came down from. So they took it from the monthly one. This, I don't know why I have this green. I'm a retard. Let me reset this. Uh-oh, what happened? There we go. Now I can understand it. That's your close, and this is the open. There we go. All right, so there's your difference between your open and close. There's your spread. And the open is higher. at 1482. Let's see. $19.65. Hold on. All right, $14.85. So that's a little bit different. So $14.85 is your H vol. $14.85. So that makes more sense on what we're seeing with the options. 14.85.15. So there we go. There, this makes much more sense. So the 14 period versus the 1 period. And here it is. And then if we bring in through the end of the month, you can see 16 is the big number. And 25. Ooh, look at that, 25. 25 and 20 and 21, 22. 25, you're out of the money. 22, 20, 18, 5, 18. But here it is, 16. It's right here. It's inside the monthly ones. All right. So 1485. 1354. In case, you know, it presses down a little bit more, but I think everybody's expecting a little bit of a lift off to start challenging this 1965. Right here, there's nothing on it at all, so maybe I'm wrong. 20, so maybe it'll just gap up over it. 22. 22 is the upper risk. And there's nothing there, so it looks like the vol crushers might stay in control. We need to see the 16 break to the downside because that is your weekly one. Once that goes, you know, they move their risk down. And they'll be looking at these 7-day ones down here and the weekly twos. 7-day 1 hour ball. So that'll put us right in the middle of that 1485. Right here, target. Otherwise, we'll come back up. All right, that is it for me for now. Hope y'all have a good evening. And be sure to register for Quick Options. It is QUIKoptions.com. Register for the Substack and get premium volatility reports. We got the high correct today on our tactical volatility expectations. Right here, our weekly primary rail, structural magnets, 70-15. And then on the, I don't know what happened here. It got all narrow. What the heck happened to my formatting? I'll have to ask them. $70.15.64 on my volatility compass for that structural upside target. So we were right on it. Oops. So I hope y'all have a good afternoon, and press on. I mean, slow but steady upside, and maybe unusual February, huh? Where we don't see the volatility, where we get more vol crushing. All right. Hope y'all have a good evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.